Okay, talking. Do we hear something now? Talking. Hello. This is me speaking. I see that the mic is moving. Is there sound coming out when my mouth opens? Apollo Justice, is it working? Please tell me it's working. Oh my god. I thought I checked everything, and of course, the one thing I forgot to look into, and the fact that I used to do podcasting for a living, not necessarily for a living, but I used to do it, and I forgot one of the most important things: to have your mic on. Apparently, I had the wrong source. Again, it's been a while since I've done anything on Twitch. Okay, I don't think he's there, so I need to check really quick. Just doing a check. All right, looks like we got audio, folks. Yeah. Is it loud enough? Does it sound good? Is it clear? The music's really loud on my end. Yes, and yes. Hooray! Oh, wow. So, where was I? Well, to go back from the beginning, I've been gone for quite a while, and usually I show my camera. I have no problem showing my camera. I'm happy with who I am, but even though there's been a little bit of the soul that has been cleaved from the marble bust that is my life, I had some. I've already talked about some health complications that I have, including ME/CFS, which is myalgic encephalomyelitis / chronic fatigue syndrome. I also suffer from Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I have POTS, which just means that I have trouble transitioning from sitting to standing and standing to sitting. Also sitting to laying down. That's a real quagmire. And I had another health scare. And it's now been almost a couple years, but I had to have an emergency gallbladder removal due to my first ever infection with COVID. I got infected with COVID in October 4th, a couple years ago. And then 2 weeks later, I was rushed to the hospital because I was double backed over. I was like in that much pain. It's the kind of pain you see like in anime television shows and movies, where you're just like, man, I don't think anyone could ever be in that much pain. Like, it was the equivalent for me, but for childbirth for a woman. And it was a very scary situation. We found out that I had this is the perfect music to go with this story, by the way. Thank you, improv gods. And I had about 11 to 12 stones, gallstones, which are similar to kidney stones, but they're a little more acidic. And I think they're slightly larger than a standard kidney stone. And they're made out of all the toxic recycled material that your body creates. And then what your gallbladder does is it puts them into these small calcified spherical balls, so that when they're being taken care of, when your body's trying to take care of it, it's not going to risk killing you by having one of these rupture. And one got lodged into the bile duct of my liver, and I almost died. And that was fun, right around Halloween month. No, it was terrifying. And luckily, they were able to do a dual surgery. Dual? Yeah. Or duo. The surgery was simultaneously done where they were both taking out my gallbladder while lancing the stone, which was done by 2 surgeons, and it took about like 3 or 4 hours. I think I lost about a pint of blood on the table. Man, I'm always losing blood when I'm on the operating table. It was 2 pints when I was getting my craniocervical fusion back in 2021 for Ehlers-Danlos is a connective tissue disorder, and it can manifest in many different ways. There's 13 different subtypes. The one that I had is known as hypermobility Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or HEDS. And what's interesting about that one is it is a little more common, but there is no genetics, there's no genetic marker to determine, oh, you have hypermobility EDS. Like, they can find out through genetics if you have vascular EDS, which means your veins are pretty much freeways of popsicle sticks throughout your body, and that they can collapse at any time. There's also an Ehlers-Danlos that affects the eyes only. A lot of times people, their eye sockets won't stay in their eye. This is beautiful, right? Isn't this great talking for the new year? Really positive, you know, we're gonna get everything in order, start the day off, start the year off. Hopefully there's some smiles. And it's like, no, I'm talking about death and genetic markers and horrible diseases. But that's my life, and I'm not afraid about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It fucking sucks. Some days are really bad, and I am seeing a psychologist. I've been seeing one now for a year, and it's been going really great. One of the better decisions I made last year, because I just knew something was wrong. Now, I've never thought about what would my life be what would life be if I wasn't here. So it wasn't that level of bad, but it was bad of, you know, every now and then you think, what's the point of living when I'm in a body that's pretty much a prison? And that's what it feels like some days, that I'm just in this prison and I can't get out of it. So that's a segue to what you see on your screen right now, which is the Quest Calendar 2026, the Souls of oh man, I don't even have it in front of me. I should have it in front of me, right? Souls of Saraku. I wanted this year to have a little more meaning, make it a little more worthwhile. And my psychologist and I were talking about this because energy levels are very hard when you have a dynamic disability, kind of like Ehlers-Danlos and ME/CFS and long COVID, because some days I feel, you know, pretty good, decent. I'm homebound and I can walk around. And then there's other days where I wake up and the world is against me, and I feel very heavy, and the fatigue is so debilitating that I can barely get out of the couch. So those are my couch-bound days. And I'm kind of oscillating and switching off between those two. So the Quest Calendar, I've been wanting to get one of these for a while now. This is from Sundial Games. They have a website. I should put it in, but I just don't have that set up right now. So you're slowly, every day, it's going to get a little better, and it's like, oh, that's cool, and oh, he put in this element. Oh, there's an overlay now. That's cool. That's neat. When did he do that? Good Lord, I don't know. They might already be done, and I just forgot to turn them on. What the calendar is, though, is it's a reason to get up. You know, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just something to look forward to. And every day, because it's hard to do a 3-hour RPG session, and I don't work. I've been disabled now for 4 years. So it's completely different though, because I don't have tons of time on my hands. A lot of my time is going to management of my diseases, plural. There's an S with a parenthetical next to disease. So let's jump right into it. So every day is going to be, I don't know when I'm going to stream this, but the goal is to do the next day of this ongoing quest. And let's go over just a little bit of the rules as we dive into our first page, which is here. Okay, so if you've never done role-playing, tabletop role-playing RPGs, or D&D or Pathfinder, it's pretty simple steps and pretty easy to understand rules after you've been doing it for a bit. You always need I would say a game master or someone that's running your game or session that really knows what they're doing. And the game master for this is the calendar. Like, the calendar is operating as the game master. But I have the rules in front of me. I'm just going to read them kind of really quick. They say the biggest and most important rule is to have fun. This is to act as a guide. It's not supposed to be a competitive game. You're only playing with yourself, and sometimes that's all I have. And self-care is also very important when you're dealing with chronic illness. And we are playing as a villain, folks. So, Souls of Saraku, you are a villain. I think at the beginning of the first couple times of the calendar, we meet what villains we could potentially be playing. And then from there, we'll see how our villain changes, how the story changes. I will say that you can have minions, pets. You have a great mechanic with this calendar of notoriety. So your notoriety goes from 0 to 20 the more infamous you become. And what's nice about that is you can take that notoriety at the end of your rest, and if your notoriety goes from 0 to 20, and at the end of your rest, if you hit that 20, you can trade in that notoriety and buff up one of your skill slots, whether it's Constitution or Dexterity, Intellect, Wisdom, or Charisma, or Strength, which I think is a really cool mechanic. I love when games like tried something new, they try something different, and I've never really seen a notoriety mechanic. It's kind of like if you would think of the wanted meter in Grand Theft Auto, right? You get so many stars, the more people get involved. Well, maybe you're able to easily coerce a minion to join you, whether they want to or not. So that'll be fun. Yeah, so notoriety. Every villain will start at 0. You may gain or lose notoriety points with certain decisions, and your notoriety can give you bonuses or penalties on certain rolls. So that's how notoriety works. The die we're working with is a... Oh no, don't drop it. Okay, luckily it fell on my lap. Let me do this really quick. Ta-da! Little dice cam. How long did that take? Hours to set up this dice cam, and it's really jerry-rigged, and it's a do-it-yourself setup. I know it looks really nice, and we got lights moving and everything, but I'll show a behind the scenes of how I did this, because I want other people to be able to see this, maybe that are also disabled or deal with chronic illness as well. And if they're like, you know what, I want to do something like this, but I don't even know where to start, maybe I'll show you. We'll do like, this is how I set up my camera one day, stuff like that. But we're working with a D4. That's that triangle right there. The way a D4 works is, if I can show this properly, find your camera, CoRy. There it is. Too much light. There you go. So you can see the numbers on there, and the number at the top when you roll your die is the number that your D4 is landing on. So that would be a 2, for instance. And I'll the camera is so you can kind of see what I'm doing, but also there's certain die that I'm sure you'll be able to read the numbers to, which will be nice. We're also going to be working with a D6. That's your standard Yahtzee die. There's a D6. Rolled a 6 on a D6. Couldn't do that again if I tried. We also have a D8. I think I have a couple D8s. Is this a D8? Why does it go up to 9? Do I have a D8? Oh no! That's the one I'm missing. Okay, so this is why you do this. You figure it out. I'm missing my D8. So I gotta find my D8. I have die all over the place. And I gotta find one that's a D8. But we also have a D10. That's this guy. What's nice about D10s is they usually come as percentile dice. So there's 2 shapes. So that would be, for example, 48. That's a 48 right there. Because I rolled one that has double digits, 10 to 90, and this one is 1 to 10. So that's the D10s. I think we use both of them. Yep. We are going to have a D12. It's your D12. It's a 7. And then, of course, the D20. But if I want a D20, I'm going to go with a little bit of a more chunkier kind of D20. So we'll go with this guy, because he's big and ridiculous. I love this one. And ooh, this one really shows up nice on camera. Awesome. There's 13. My mom was born on Friday the 13th. That's a little fun fact for later. So if we're rolling, let's see, dice rolls. So like if your character can have, my character can have, like bonuses to some of their character stats. Like, let's say my constitution is really high and I have a +3. I could roll a d20, and then whatever roll I have, I would add +3 to that. So a 17 +3 would become 20, and then I would then do, that would be a 20 for that roll. They also will work with the classic natural 1, which is a critical failure, and a natural 20, which is a critical success. D20 is like an ungodly like roll. Maybe we'll even role play where something crazy happens. Maybe the game will actually break. Who knows? Because again, it's my choices. Ultimately, however I want to play the game, and I might change it up. I've played these kind of games before. We'll see. Now, here's something I definitely want to talk about. In this quest calendar, Sundial Games has choices, and you can either choose to do either A or B, or actions might have a 1 or a 2. Let's see, can we see that? No, we can't. Well, we'll see it on another page. But choices are A and B, and I will choose either one, or an action will be 1, and then you do 2, and then you do 3, and so on. And you can combine those. Maybe there's an A and B, so we'll do choice B, and then 1, 2. So it's B, 1, 2. So yeah, we'll get into that. Resolving the events of the day. Events and the resulting outcomes of a given day will be on the back page of the previous calendar. you will see that I've taken pictures of all of today and the intro, so you can read along as I'm reading. So you can kind of follow along if you maybe are starting a little late in the stream. There's abilities and reminders. The reminders are going to be on the actual page of the calendar on the back, because they say some characters have abilities that use a limited resource pool of spell points, or what they call surges. And I'm sure we'll get into that. Combat, that's going to be with our attack die. It's usually D20. I have no idea what kind of things we'll be fighting. I'm sure some might be gross and demonic. Others might be more your classic fantasy, like goblins, or maybe there's a shopkeep that's actually a warlock. Anything is possible in the world of Dungeons and Dragons, or any real tabletop role-playing RPG. Okay, there's healing abilities. I cannot use it in the middle of combat, but I can use it before a round or after a round. There's also crafting in this game, which is crazy. Oh, I should have took a picture of the crafting. I'll take a picture of the crafting bench. Maybe I'll make a crafting bench. That might be fun if I have time for that. The answer is no, I don't, but we'll see. We'll see. It all depends on how I feel. Okay. Conditions and afflictions. You can be poisoned or cursed. There's also boons and automatic failures. As I was talking about with the D1s to D20s. A boon is in adding a D4 on a future D20 roll. And you can only hold one single boon at a time. A failure, that could lead to a critical wound. Potentially my character can die. That is possible. There's a whole thing on dealing with death. I'll have a picture for that for next time. I didn't think that through. I'll be leveling up throughout the whole quest, throughout the whole year. I can pickpocket. I also have a backpack. Like I said, there is crafting in here. There's also equipment. There's shops. I can go into debt. They have a Sunday lottery. That's fun. On a D6, I will roll. And then depending on what I roll, like if, let's say I roll and I roll a 4, that means I would have won 2 gold for that Sunday lottery. So there you go. Oh, if you're just joining, welcome. My name is CoRy Wysz. I go by the Photo Alchemist. And I'm very excited because this year I've been working with a dear friend of mine, Pirate Prince Charles on the Twitch. Let's see if I put this in command in right. Did I put this command in right? We're about to find out. We're about to find out. What was it? It was Avatar. Yes. So the Photo Alchemist was created by the one and only Pirate Prince Douglas on Twitch. He also does art over at Rosefire Tavern on Instagram and Threads. Highly encourage you to check him out. He's awesome. He's really been an artist that has been sharing their journey as well. So I just dropped my pencil. Hold on. Oh, no. I can't see it in the dark. Well, I dropped my pencil. What do I do now? I turn on my camera, and I find it. Got it. Okay, there we go. I dropped my pencil, folks. Sorry about that. You don't know I dropped my pencil, but I did. I know it. And I'm saying it. But yeah, I've been working with Doug for a few months now on creating the Photo Alchemist, and really just astounded by how well it turned out. And thank you again. Thanks again, Doug. He'll be on, I'm sure, throughout the streams here and there. And it's not just gonna be the quest calendar. That's a big part of my focus, but that's not all I'll be doing. Hopefully I'll be getting back into streaming a little more. But yeah, this is the Photo Alchemist. He has aperture lenses. That's a bowler hat, known as the Rutger, because I have the Rutger. And yeah, this is me as a cat. Me as a cat with a dark purple aura behind aperture eyelids. Okay, so there's meal rations, leveling up. I talked about that. Sunday lottery. Okay, so party members. We can have people join the party, and they can come and go. There are difference between minions and pets. I also can have henchmen, and every pet and henchman, their skill ability is determined by the energy they have. They all have a certain amount of energy, and anytime you use a skill, you exhaust 1 energy point. And this is all on the calendar as well. The minions are followers gained through your journey, either by choice or other means, like coercion. You may have up to 20 minions. I don't know how that's even possible. I should have got the villain compendium codex to go along with it. I think there's an app on Sundial Games' website that you can download if you've bought the product. I'll also ask them maybe if there's a way for people to follow the book and the rules without buying it to make it easier for me. Maybe they'll be able to help me. Who knows? It talks about resting. There's activities. Well, if you are explicitly told your character may rest and recover from their journey. And then on these pages, do the following. You restore your health to full. Regain abilities. If you've exhausted all your spells, you can get them back. If your notoriety is 20, that's when you can use the boost to change your character stat. That's when you can craft items. And then there's a whole crafting table. Sundial Games, you guys are amazing. I'd love to work with you in the future if you're ever down. And if anyone ever knows how to contact them, you can message me directly. I'm also on Instagram. My socials are... I think my bot should be doing this, but if they're not, these are my socials. Yeah, there we go. So all the socials can be found on there. My chat is above my head. I keep forgetting where I put it. Okay. That's the lay of the land. And how about we go back to our land? And the journey begins now. The Dark Citadel looms in a wasteland of death and decay, a bleak monument to the Overlord's unholy reign. From its heart, the Soul Crystal pulses with dark power, spreading malevolence across the land like a festering wound. Beneath its grim shadow, life withers, crushed in the Overlord's iron grasp. Seated atop his throne of jagged obsidian, the Overlord broods, his mind swirling with vile schemes to sow even greater evil. How best to stretch his shadow over lands untouched by his wrath? A crow, black as the void, wings its way toward the citadel, bearing grim tidings that may shift his plans. So then you go to... So that's the first calendar page, right? You tear that away, and then on the back is the following. I told you, it gets into a lot of reading. So, A, decrypt the message with magic, roll d20 plus wisdom, reminder arcane adept. B, decode the message with a cipher, roll a d20 plus intellect, reminder investigator. Rule: When presented with letters, choose to do either. Here, choose either A or B. Roll a d20 and then add your modifier for the trait listed, e.g. Wisdom. Check if you have an appropriate ability, such as the Arcane Adept skill that grants you a +2 bonus. Oh, also, they are going to give us characters. We could also make our own. I don't think I have the energy to do the latter, so I'm just going to go with one of theirs. Okay, so if we... such as the Arcane Adept skill that grants you a +2 bonus. So, if we decrypt the message with magic, we would roll a d20 plus wisdom, and then I could decode the message. The message is revealed. Okay. Okay, so I gotta decide this right now. Would I decrypt the message with magic? I am a wizard. Photo Alchemy is a type of wizardry. So I think I'm gonna do... Wow, the first choice already. I think I'm gonna do A. So we're gonna decrypt the message with magic. So I'm gonna roll a d20 plus wisdom. I don't know if I have any wisdom already. Depending on the character I have. Maybe? Let's see, I'm looking just a quick little check to see what wisdom plus... Okay, so yeah, depending on the characters that they have at the beginning. Okay, so here's our character choices so far. We have the Human Death Weaver, Severin Mortis. So, Severin Mortis has a whole backstory as well, which I can now read. People fear death, I do not. I've studied it, unraveled its secrets, and made it my servant. Life is fleeting, but power is eternal. The strong command, the weak obey, and the dead whisper their secrets to those willing to listen. I am always listening. So Severin Mortis was born into weakness. Ooh, his body failed him before the world ever had a chance to. Sickly and frail, he watched as others thrived while he wasted away. Wow. This sounds like a true story. The strong ruled and the weak suffered, he would not suffer. Sickly and frail, he watched while others thrived while he wasted away. The strong ruled and the weak suffered, but he would not suffer. He sought power in the places others feared to tread. The dead do not lie, nor do they judge. Among bones of forgotten graves, Severin uncovered truths hidden from cowards who feared the dark. His first success was small, a rat, broken and twitching, but made whole and alive once more. It was proof life was not sacred. It was a puzzle, and he was learning how to solve it. The High Mage found him among the remains of his early experiments, half-starved but brimming with knowledge far beyond his years. Instead of only destruction, he was given purpose. Under his master's guidance, he sharpened his craft, bending death itself to his will. Severin does not seek companionship, only control. The battlefield is his canvas, and the dead are his ink. Ooh! He will not stop until he has achieved his final lesson. Not even the High Mage will stand in his way. One day he will master death itself. One day he will never die. Whoa! Did I just drop my pen again? Yep. I just dropped my pencil again. Is this gonna become a thing? Am I gonna have a little avatar emoji of a pencil falling and breaking? Maybe. Maybe. That'd be fun to draw. Okay. Okay, looking. There we go. Okay, so that is Severin Mortis. And then, see, there's the pencil. I'll just put the pencil there. One thing about Severin Mortis, as you can see from the next page. Oh! There you go. I forgot that I made it, so it's a little more zoomed in, hopefully easier to read if you are reading. Maybe you don't have the volume on, but you're like, oh, this looks cool. So this is Severin's character sheet. He's Arcane Adept, which is adding +2 to all rolls to handle and deal with magic, non-combat. He also has Arcane Knowledge. He has spells. You have 2 spell points you can use to cast spells. Regain all used spell points on a rest. Ooh, Blight Touch. Use 1 spell point, add a d4 to all attack rolls for the page. Nice. Oh, and Bone Shield. Use 1 spell point, add a d4 to the all defense rolls for the page. He's not very strong. His dexterity's bad. He's very intelligent. He's got no wisdom, and his charisma is something to be desired. So, you know, he's an introvert. It happens. It happens. Throughout, as I write on my sheet, I will then hopefully be able to show you my sheet. Maybe I can figure out a way that's easier to see. Oh, man. I got work to do. Okay. So that's Severin. Our next possible character to choose, and I really like Severin right off the bat, but I'm keeping an open mind with everything I'm doing this year as a whole. So why not have that apply to the quest calendar as well? So the next is Yorsara Cronenmeyer, the human Covenborn. Let's see, her quote is, "Do not mistake me for wretched crone. My skin may wither, my bones may creak, but my will is eternal. I weave spells from shadow, bind creatures to my service, and brew potions that twist fate itself. Power is the only beauty that never fades, and one day the world will kneel to mine." Well, she sounds like a deer, doesn't she? Okay, let me go to the next so you can read along with me. Okay, so I think Yosora, or maybe the Y is silent, but I like Yosora. So Yosora Cronenmeyer was born into a world that valued beauty above all else, a lesson she learned at an early age. She was admired, adored, and praised for her fair-featured and honeyed voice. But beauty is fleeting, and the whispers of time were crueler than any blade. She saw the way admiration dulled into indifference, the way eyes that once lingered began to pass her by. She would not allow herself to be forgotten. Desperation led her to forbidden magic. This music. Wow. To rituals that promised eternal youth and unending adoration. They lied. Her flesh shriveled, her eyes sank, and her voice turned to a rasp. She was no longer beautiful. She was something far greater. Now she commands the dark arts with mastery few can rival. Bones speak to her, familiars obey her every whim, and her potions can either cure or kill with equal ease. She serves the Overlord, not out of loyalty, but as a means to an end. Man, these are great characters. Power is a tool, and she will use it to reclaim what she has taken. One day she will be more than feared. She will be worshipped. Go, girl. Oh, man. Okay, so I got Severin or Yosora. This is Yosora's cheat sheet. This is on the back of her page. So again, these are tearaway pages. And let's see. Also, not strong at all. Constitution is meh. She's not very smart, but her wisdom, she's got +3. She's an investigator, so she had +2 to all rolls to search and investigate. Well, that kind of also very much like true to my life. I was a forensic investigator. That's what I went to school for, forensic chemistry. So wow, I either have a weak, sickly man, or I have a once beautified and adored crone investigator. Once per page premonition, reroll any d20 plus wisdom roll and take the new result. Oh, I like that. Spells. You have 2 spell points. You can cast spells, regain all used spell. Feeble Curse. Use 1 spell point, reduce the damage of a single source by d4 to a minimum of 0. Wow. Wow. Damn. Damn, Sundial Games. Coming out strong. I've always wanted to do one of these. I know Sundial, this isn't their first foray into quest calendars, but now I gotta choose. And I think to start, I'm gonna choose the next song. And maybe just listening to the song will help me decide, or, and I don't know how many people are in the chat right now, I roll for it, right? Seems like that's what I should do. So, let's see. Ooh, I'm getting investigator vibes though from this song. Okay, you know what? The song's leading me towards Yasora, but let's see what the fates decide. Where should I go? I'll keep it on here. Okay. So Severin will be odd because he's odd, and Yasora will be even because she wants to be adored. So if I roll odd or even, that will choose my character. Okay. What is it? Here we go. It's odd. It's a 9. We have chosen our character. It is Severin Mortis. Okay. So now that I have my character, Severin will, based on their they're magic. They're arcane adept. So, okay, here's the first roll that's not dealing with the character. We reach deep inside of myself to push and pull at visible threads of arcane power. You focus on your desire to uncover the truth meant in the message. This is the message that the crow brings. We're deciphering it with magic. Okay. The result is 10 or less, or if the result is 11 or more. So the result is 11 or more. I don't even have to use his ability to add +2 to all rolls, handle, deal with magic, non-combatant. So I'd add a +2, so it'd be a +15, so we easily get that roll. So the forces of magic bend to your will easily. The markings on the paper are rewritten with the true message below. Okay, so the message is revealed. An army has arrived from across the sea. We could not hold them. They've taken the city of Saltwind and now march for the Dark Citadel. The High Mage addresses you. An army of the light is at our doorstep. We must discern the size and strength of this force at once. Come, we shall cast a divination spell. All right. So now, let us go to the first day. Happy New Year, everyone! Thursday, January 1st, 2026, or known as Thornsday in deep winter, New Year's Day. The crow perches itself upon the window of the High Mage, the head advisor on all things magical to the Overlord. The High Mage takes the letter from the crow before shooing it away. Turning towards you, he commands you to decipher the encrypted message and hands you the letter. You accept and turn to the table to begin your task. How should you retrieve the message? By spell or cipher? Well, we did it. We did the cipher. Oh, okay. Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on. So gather the reagents, roll a d20 plus wisdom, reminders of investigator. Draw the ritual circle, roll a d20. Oh, wow. Okay, so I could still botch this potentially. Okay. Okay. So I got a little ahead of myself. But we're learning. This is a process. So, on the back of this card are the following rules. Now, it's angled because the glare I was having trouble getting the glare out of there. So, I'm not going to gather any reagents because I'm not an investigator. I'm an arcane adept. Which is +2 to rolls, all handle that deal with magic, non-combat. Okay, so I gather the, draw the ritual circle. So I'm drawing the ritual circle. Wait a minute. Oh, I got to do all of it. Oh, but as an investigator, I would have the advantage. Okay, so there's no advantage. Okay, so begin at spell effectiveness of 1. Note this down somewhere for future use. You may be able to increase the effectiveness if you perform well at preparing the spell. Okay, so rule, when presented with numbers, do all the tasks listed. Here, do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so gather the reagents, roll d20 plus wisdom. My wisdom is a +0. Okay, so there's no change to it. So I look at the list in the book and the hundreds of unlabeled jars and herbs lining the shelves. This will be quite the task. Can you identify what ingredients to collect? Well, let's see. Roll my die. And let me put the die. Let me make this a little smaller so we can see my die roll. Because it is a beauty. It's a beauty, folks. It really is. It's a 2. So it's not a critical failure. We did not completely bomb, but we didn't do too well. Okay, so the unlabeled jars are of no help. Many hold contents that are strange and unknown to you. You do your best to select those ingredients you recognize and guess at some of the unknown to you. You do your best to select those ingredients you recognize and guess at some of the others. Okay, so now we draw the ritual circle. Okay. The ritual circle is an intricate design filled with interwoven loops and fine details. I can already see how well this is going to go. Let me move this so you can see it a little better. There we go. The paint is a concoction of blood and other rare ingredients. It is not forgiving and can't be replaced in time. The slightest mistake will not be easy to fix. Okay, luckily I'm arcane adept. So my arcane, so this is a roll a d20 plus dexterity. Well, my dexterity is a -1, but I'm arcane adept, which is adding a +2 to all rolls. So really, it'll just be a +1. So +1 to this roll. +1 to this roll. Can I draw the ritual circle? He rolls. No! No! Oh, oh God, no. Oh, the circle. The circle. My guy sneezed all over the circle, didn't he? Really? A 1, a 2, and then a 1. Wow. Starting the new year off strong with this one, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, God. You do your best to carefully scribe the ritual circle. Upon finishing, you look back at your drawing. You notice several missing details when comparing it to the circle in your book. But there is no time to correct your mistakes. Plus, who has time to get rid of all the snot that's left over from your sneeze? Now, I did not say that, but I added that. I am a writer, so I have that liberty. And I will do that whenever I can. Okay, so that was a 1 though. There's some there's some consequences for rolling a 1. Let's see, where is it? Dice rolls, conditions and afflictions. Okay, for natural 1. Fall, and regardless of any modifiers you may add to your result. For an attack, you will miss the enemy. For an activity, you will always use the lowest resulting outcome. Conversely, you will earn a boon when you roll natural. Okay, so the dice lands on a 1 will always fall regardless of any modifiers. I know I just read this. I'm just reading it again to see if I got anything. Okay, so there's nothing on there about that it went poorly. Okay, so now the next thing is we're chanting. Gotta practice our chant. So practice the chant. Roll a d20 plus charisma. Oh my God, my charisma is a -2. And for that, it's Arcane Adept, so it's a +2. Okay, so my modifier is a 0, as long as I don't roll a 1. Don't roll a 1. A 6. I think it went this way. Or was it Kalasiv? The words this spell requires. The words are not difficult to memorize, but a spell of this caliber will require precision in your performance to implore the forces of magic to bend to your power. You practice enunciation and forcing your full will into the words. If the result is 10 or less, this spell requires a special emphasis on certain syllables. And you practice various styles and techniques and eventually settle on a pattern that seems jarring to your ears, but should get the job done? ? Well, that went as well as one could have hoped. So that's it. That's day 1. That's the quest calendar of 2026 Souls of Saraku, or Saraku, or Saraku. Whoops. I'm still here. Yeah, so let's see. In summary, I couldn't gather the reagents. I was terrible at drawing the ritual circle. I sneezed all over it, and the highly what's the word I want to use? The very tenuous reagent that I used to draw. What is it called? The paint. The concoction was made with blood and other rare ingredients, and it's not forgiving, and it can't be replaced in time. So those have my snot currently indwelled within it. And I forgot how the chant went, because I really am good at magic. The character we chose was Severin Mortis. We have a way going forward. We know that there is something of an army is amassing at the doorstep, and they have their eyes on the Dark Citadel. And I am the... What am I? I am the... I'm the High Mage to the Overlord. So I am not a Overlord. I am their high and dutiful mage. And I was a very sickly man. And I am slowly bending death to my will. So folks, thank you so much for being here. Thank you again to Pirate Prince Douglas for making the Photo Alchemist come to life. I love how it turned out. And then I was able to animate it with Vido Tuber, which is a Portuguese application. There is that's free. You can find it online. I'll have that linked later on. We have our dice all set. I have a pencil. Hopefully I won't forget it. There it is. Got some cameras set up. Things are going to be changing throughout. And yeah, I'm just excited to see where this quest goes, and apparently how bad can things get. So, on that note, let's have a different song to take us out. And I will see you tomorrow.